All right, guys, so thank you for watching this video right now. We're going to go into an in-depth training on how to utilize GoldCup. We've got one of our top market mastery traders, Andrew, who's going to share how he's been utilizing GoldCup to take things to the next level, how he's been able to flip accounts over the last month. So thank you guys for being here with us. Hey, if you're ready to hear from Andrew, I want you guys to drop an 888 in the chats right now for Andrew. And Andrew, if you could raise your hand. Okay, I see you. You are now unmuted. And let me see. I'm going to go ahead and make you host, Andrew, and you can go ahead and rock it. And Andrew, when you're done, you could just throw the host back to me if you want. All right?
Got you, got you. Everybody can hear me, right? You can hear me?
Yeah, you're good, bro.
All right, perfect. Fantastic, guys. Let's give it back up for Mr. Steve. Definitely took some notes on that. Let's get some fire emojis. Let's get some 7-7s in the chat for Steve. Give it up for a great leader, cooking this up and really giving us the sauce every day, every week, man. So let's really give it up for him on that. Now, you guys pretty much shared a little bit of story about, who I am, what I've been doing lately. But I really want to go back over just for like a little bit, just if I can, over the compound. We used to use this a lot. Wrong screen size. Sorry, my bad. Pause share. What happened? You guys can see this Excel sheet, right? All right, perfect, great. Give me 1 second. Let me get this chat box up so I can see it. Perfect. All right. So, really want to give this to the power of like how you don't like. A lot of people think you need 3%. Like, oh man, I probably got to catch like 100 pips or something like that. I mean, I was talking to a few of my team members, and they think that like you got to catch a lot of pips, and you really don't. And the fact is, like, what I've been using here is, this is a $100 account. I do the 4% just to get a little more because 1% actually does a lot more. But the biggest thing is the fact that here you can catch 4% with 10 pips. You drop a 0.04 on a $100 account, you just made 4%, right? Now, if you have a trade, you're trying to catch 50 pips, obviously you bring it down to 0.01. But the biggest thing is that you don't need to catch crazy big moves, guys. Everybody in here could agree that, you can catch 10 pips, you can catch 30 pips on any product that you log in, right? The harmonic scanner will always at least go 10 pips in profit, right? A swipe trade will go 10 pips in profit. But the fact is, a lot of people get greedy. A lot of people don't understand the power of 10 pips, the power of 30 pips. The reason I've been able to flip these small accounts without risking essentially too much on some of my smaller ones is the fact that I'm getting out and I'm in profit. Like, I'm only looking for 10 pips here, 20 pips there, I'm getting out. I used to, in the very beginning, I was like, oh man, I got to try to catch these 100 pip moves, and you're seeing all these products going for hundreds. Like, oh, I want to catch those big moves. I want to catch those big moves. There's a strategy to that, but at the same time, you don't want to miss out, especially in the beginning when your count size is so small. I guess a lot of us can agree, like, when for the people that are first starting trading, you only really have 50, maybe $100, maybe 150 to put in, right? And it's your money that you worked for, right? You don't want to lose that. You don't want to lose that money. So why are you trying to go for 100 pips when you're getting consistently 20 pips and you stopped out, or getting 20 pips and it's going against you? Like, for me, I changed the mindset, and it just completely changed the game after that. So I just want to share a little bit about that. Like, you don't have to. This is an Excel sheet that pretty much everybody should have access to it. If you don't, I'll send it to you, whatever it is, where you can put in however many pips your stop profit is, and it'll tell you what lot size to use. It's all about control. It's all about measuring your success. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. But the really thing I wanted to get into, guys, was GoldCup. All right, GoldCup lasts 2 weeks, 14-1. Like, come on, man. Like, that's crazy, right? And a lot of his stuff he puts out before on his sessions too. So if you log in onto his sessions, his live trading sessions, when it's like 1 a.m., sometimes 11, he'll post in the chat, which I know for some reason a lot of you guys don't have that. So I'll go ahead, because this is how we get the signal. Because obviously, not everybody's on their computer, right? So this is how we get it. There's the GoldCup alerts, right? Exactly. 14 wins, 1 loss, guys. You're doing that in any industry, sports, professional industry, whatever it is, you're making a lot of money. And we have the same option here, right? So like right here, guys, 10-1 the past 3 weeks, 4-0 this week, right? And he always says every Friday, withdraw 10%, take it home. Like, that's all you have to do, right? So this is the GoldCup alerts. He posted it, the link in here a couple. I'll find it for you guys, and I'll post it on a couple tests, making sure everybody's on there. But this is where all the products on GoldCup, right? So we know that GoldCup does have a lot of strategies in there, right? So you got the cross, the teacups, gold rush, US30 price trap, right? So obviously what they did is when they came out with all those things, they made sure that there was one Telegram that had everything on there, right? So this is literally everything about. You have the where is it? You have the gold rush on here. You always have the teacup one, which I forgot what he calls it. Uh, EU and the teacup hit stop loss. They give you updates all the time. So it's like getting a text message, like a swipe trade. It'll say, okay, hey, gold rush call live. And what do? You go in, and like they're having problems on the app, but I always tell people just to go and log on the computer. All you have to do is go to strategy, go to gold rush, right? And you'll see something along the lines of like, I'll show you real quick what you'll see pretty much. You're going to see like a little line, horizontal line. Let's just say, let me find one, whatever. Let's just say it was like this, right? And he was like, all right, great. Then you'll see text about, you know, sell entry, 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll give you the stop loss. He'll give you the take profit entry and all that kind of stuff. Like everything that you need. It's strictly just copy and paste, guys. And he'll give like a little arrow sometimes and a highlight. But that's the easiest way to use Gold Rush. Now, one of the the crazy things that I like is because I'm always looking for more opportunity and stuff like that. So I actually got into the MA Cross. Now, a lot of people should know about this one, but just because it's super easy, the fact that it's super accurate as well, guys. I don't know if you guys remember, but in the beginning when Mike's dad was doing this trading thing, right, and he was 250 to well over a huge amount, right? um, so he was using this strategy in the beginning just because it's so accurate, right? So basically, what you have is I don't know, they delete very fast on this MA cross. I don't necessarily like them. That's why I track them on my trading view most of the time. But basically, I'll show you here is you have the moving average at 4, and you have the exponential moving average at 50, right? So the 50 is at the blue, and your 50 EMA is always like your middle ground, right? It's always like your regular average that the market will have to come back to or will have to cross through. And once it crosses through here, this middle line, you're going through the sell. So what's going to move the most is the black line, which is the moving average, right? Yeah, I see you. You can hear me? Oh, you're not seeing it? Oh, okay. Hold on. I know what's going on. All right. My bad, guys. My bad. Oh, there we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Everybody sees the screen now, right? Put a 222 if you can see. Okay, great, 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 great. Perfect, guys. Sorry about that. All right. So pretty much, like I said, is when you go first and login, I'll go back real quick. You have to go through the strategy, right? And this is where you have MA Cross, Master Teacups, Gold Rush, US30, Price Trap. That's what you're going to see. All right. And then if you're on the MA Cross, they delete it pretty fast. Like I said, I don't necessarily like it, but this is the strategy that Mike's dad was using. So I started to take a look at it, right? And so what happened is here, I'll go back over it again. The EMA is at 50 and your moving average is at 4. So if you put those on your trading view, you'll have this exact same strategy on your trading view and on your phone. You can even get it on your MT4. I figured out a way to get that. So I'll pull it up real quick because I didn't even know you could even get it. So that even helped a lot as well because if you're not on the go and stuff like that. So you can have the EMAs on your MT4. So let me know if you want that. But the biggest thing is that it's super easy, guys. You don't have to like I don't know. Like it's sometimes I get lost for words just for the fact that like so much money is being put into these products for us to succeed, guys. Like I took a step back and like in the beginning, I was trying to become a professional trader. Like I was trying to New England number wins and losses. Yeah. In the beginning, I was trying to become a professional trader, thinking that I had to do everything on my own. I was like, you know what? I have to perfect these strategies. I gotta go live on all these sessions. I gotta trade. And it's good in the beginning because you got to understand stuff like that. But long term, I just had to wake up with like, okay, hold up. And I asked myself, do I really have the need to be a professional trader, expert trader, right? And I was like, you know what? No, but I know how to use products. I was able to be successful, pay for Vegas flights, pay for a lot of my family's bills and credit cards and stuff like that through the products. And I just took a step back, and I was just like, hold up, like Christopher Terry put so much money into these educators so that they're working on the product. They're the expert traders for you. You don't have to do it yourself, right? So use the products, learn how to use the products, and stick to them. And then I promise you, like this, your whole trading game will change to the next level. All right. So, but going back to the MA cross, it's super, super simple, guys. All right. All you're looking for is this blue line, like I said, is your middle. I'll go on trade view because I don't like how it's set up here. I'll go over a couple setups that I took from it anyway. So right here, this is the. Oh, let me go back and I got to go back and rechange it. Hold on. Let me share. Oh, you guys still see the trade view? Okay, perfect. All right. You guys still see the trading view, right? Put a 2 to 2 if you can see the trading view, just to make sure. All right, perfect. Sweet. So now you guys know that I do like the break and retest as well. That's also on GoldCup on Price Trap, but it's also on with Christopher Derrick, Luke Longmire, Kimberly Torres, and that's why like I recommend those people to my team just because they teach the same strategy. So you have one product with Luke, Kimberly, Chris, Derrick, really 3 educators backing behind it, all teaching the exact same strategy. They all do the buy and retest, the break and retest. I'm sorry. So we had here, this wasn't a call on Price Trap, but it was a call on the crossing strategy, right? So what happened is this blue line is my EMA 50, which is the middle line I talked to you guys about. The moving average is the white line you see on the charts, right? That's what's actual price is at pretty much, all right? So what do you see here is that it was in a little bit of consolidation. And if you guys have ever been on Kimberly Torres or Luke Longmire or Christopher Derrick session, they say consolidation is what is fuel for the market for big moves. The longer it stays in consolidation, bigger the move is going to be when it finally breaks out, right? So what do we have here, right? We have a level that it didn't want to break, right? We have a floor. All right, and then up here we had a ceiling. It didn't want to break the ceiling. It creates a box. But the biggest thing is looking at the EMA, guys. Look at here. So you see this blue line, the white line. Look how the separation. It was in just going up, down, and then it finally starts to separate, right? So now you have a huge space. So you could have actually gotten the trade here. I personally got in here because it lined up with my break and retest strategy, and it also lined up with the MA cross because I look for candles, guys. Like when you have to go, I would go back and look at some of these. Go like if you're really just starting in the beginning, pay attention to the videos in the beginning where they're going over candles and what they mean. When you truly understand, and not necessarily candle patterns, but makes like what the candles means as far as large body candles. Do you see a lot of wicks? What does that usually mean? Wicks is rejection, right? So what do we have here? It broke out, right? And it came up. The first candle that came up wicked it as sort of like a doji, pretty much, right? So, and this is the 1 hour time frame, guys. If you guys can't see that, the biggest thing is you see it wick here, and it came back down, came up again, and you have more wicks to the top, right? You had a wick on here on the top side, and you had pretty much a hammer right here, which is where hammer we just have a long wick to the top, and then looking on the bottom. But guys, the biggest thing is to see that the EMA it never crossed. It rejected the 50 EMA. So once I saw that, enter in the trade, right? M pattern, exactly. Oh yeah, I didn't even see that. Perfect. So there's multiple scenarios, guys, that you guys can use. But look, I twin trade because of Christopher Derrick showed me the potential of twin trading on his price trap product, right? So what do you see, right? It dropped. I got out here because of the candles, but it dropped for 86 pips. One trade using the same strategy, guys. Now you twin trade it. Now I'll break down really quick what twin trading. If you're trying to trade, let's say $1 per point, and that's your 3%, right? You don't put two 0.0 those. You don't do 0.2 of those. You don't do 2 of the same trades. You break your original trade in half, right? So you're risking the same amount, but you're doubling your potential in a sense, right? So here you're risking 30 pips because that's just what I get from Christopher Derrick is his US 30 pips every single time because you don't want to get wicked out. But it goes for 86 pips, right? Now, when I showed you guys in the beginning was the Excel sheet, and it shows you, okay, hey, you don't need to get to 10, 30 pips. You can catch your 3% on 30 pips, right? But then your second entry continues to go down. So what did you see? It literally got away from this EMA, and what did it do? It tanked for actually over 100 pips down here, right? But this is the 1 hour candle, so I stayed on it, right? So it's like, all right, I want to see what happens when it comes back to the EMA, see what it does, right? So what did it do? It crossed over here, and I got this alert from the MA crossing alerts you don't get on the the GoldCup like Telegram and stuff. You just have to like log in on that every now and then if you're trading live because it happens all the time. So it's not that bad. You just log in. But the biggest thing is that it had the crossing over here. So I was like, okay, well, let me go look at the chart now. So it crossed, comes back for the retest. And what do I see? You see a wick to the bottom, right? So what did I do? I got in for the buy. And then the strategy always, the strategy always says 10 to 15 pips below the where it actually crossed. Right here, your stop loss really should be like close to here, 15 pips, right? And then on the crossing strategy, originally you're really only looking for 20 to 30 pips. Exactly. Yes, I saw that too. Yes, yeah, W pen. Okay, yeah, I see that too. That's cool. Yeah. There's multiple guides you guys can use. Inverted head and shoulders. Exactly. Like everything lined up for it. That's why I got in, right? So, the biggest thing is that you didn't really have to know a lot about anything. It's just using the products and twin trading. Because when you see the power of twin trading, like that's where you start to easily get big success in your accounts, guys. Because yes, your first couple of times you're only going to catch that 20 or 30 pips, but eventually you're going to catch a reversal like this where it goes for 100 pips, or in this other case scenario where it does the exact same thing and continues to go up, right? So that's the reason I like to do twin trading. So many confirmations, exactly. So right here, it crossed, it rejected the 50 EMA. You had the inverted head and shoulders. It lined up with so many different strategies, right? And you have to look at the candles. Like I'll be dead serious. That's where like I got a lot of my trade setups and quote unquote sniper entries is looking at the candles and learning what they're teaching you. So get in here, you twin trade it. One of them closed out here, and I let the other one ride, and the other one's still riding right now. And it's at like what is it? At 86 something pips right now, right? But at one point it was at 100 pips, right? But being all realistic, guys, I'll probably the most general you should have gotten out around here. That's still 60 pips, right? Just seeing how the candle was showing you, you get out at 60 pips. Like, come on, guys. Like, I can literally go through so many different pairs about this crossing. What was the other one I was gonna go? I don't know. Yeah, right here, perfect. There's another trade I took on GJ, guys. It sent the signal on the MA cross, right? So I saw it. It told me to look at it. It crossed again down, and what did I see? This crazy wick right here. I was like, all right, so it's not breaking, it's not going down. I got into the trade right before it closed. This is the hour, so I was in like minute 56, minute 55, I think is what it was. Got in and it melted, right? I ended up getting out of the trade after here because I started seeing some wicks and started rejecting. But I was just good with my percentage. But I got out of the trade there, guys. Like just using that one strategy, just looking at a blue line and a white line, waiting for it to cross and waiting for the rejection. Or yeah, it's really just waiting for the candles, and you don't take it every single time because sometimes you'll see it like this, right? It's doing this. I didn't get in here even though it started to cross because look, the rejection was to the top side. I was like, all right, obviously, it doesn't want to go up yet. It breaks out. You can look on this side too, guys. Look, it crossed. You had a rejection on the wick. That's your entry around this point. That's your entry around here, right? We can even measure that one too. This strategy, guys, is so accurate. It ended up going for 50, but you really being realistic, you should have got out in here 30 because you're not looking, like I said, for 60, 70 pips, right? Your first trade is going for that 20, 30 pips depending on the time frame. All right, guys. So like I said, if anybody has any questions on that, let me know because this is super, super powerful. And this is probably still melting as well, guys. So, and it was strictly just a blue line and a white line. Like that's strictly it. I'll go over the example first. If they have any questions on like the crossing strategy or going on the GoldCup and how to use and stuff like that. So let's see. Hold on. And I know if anybody has, I've heard some issues with Price Trap. Chris Riddick hasn't necessarily been posting as much on there for some reason, but he is on his Go Live sessions. So if you're on his Go Live sessions and if you've been on any Chris Riddick sessions, he just plugs in music, guys, and just sends out setups, right? So he'll send out 10, 20 setups a lot of times. And the biggest thing, guys, is taking it seriously, going 100 in, 100%, 100%, 100%, guys, going all in because this is he was on vacation exactly. So the biggest thing, guys, is if you take it truly serious, guys, and you let this thing guide you, this is all based. Yeah, it's all based on GoldCup, man. So this strategy is on GoldCup. It was Lizaldo. I always get these two guys confused. It was Lizaldo Tavares because he used to do the teacup, but he had a strategy with MA cross and another thing. But this is what he uses as well, is the MA crossing. You look into the cross, you get 10, 20 pips, you're out. All right. So you can easily catch a lot of pips and a lot of entries, because like I said in the beginning, you don't need to catch 100 pips, but if you catch, 5 trades for 20 pips in a couple hours, there's your 100 pips right there, and then you're done, right? So the biggest thing is just looking at seeing how successful the products are. Like regardless of what product you use something. Right here, we had another trade setup on the MA crossing strategy on GoldCup. I want to do that, just measure it, right? So you had here, the cool thing is that it doesn't necessarily have to cross either. I get some of the entries based on that it started to cross, but it rejected the 50 EMA. Think of the 50 EMA as like your baseline average for where price is at, right? So it's dropping down and it's testing and seeing what's going to happen. Is it going to break lower, or is it going to continue to higher, go higher on the average? So what did it do here? Major rejection to the bottom side. So I definitely would have gotten in here for sure after seeing a lot of these wicks. And what happened? Shot it for 34 pips, right? Shot it for 25 pips just in a few hours. So same thing over and over. You can literally look at this on any single pair. And that's the reason I liked it. So GJ and GU, everybody knows it generally looks the same. So you have here rejection to the top side on that 50 EMA, and it melted. Like, and all these you'll see on MA Cross, like they have the alert set up there, not the alert set up for you. The settings for the two EMAs. So it's one EMA, the exponential moving average. It's at 50 and close. I'll bring up the setting right here if you guys can see it better. You guys are seeing the trading view, right? You guys see the trading view right now? All right, yeah. So the style EMA is at 50, close, and 0. And I put it at, you always want to put it as two colors that are sort of opposite of each other so that you can see it. So I got white and blue. A lot of people use different colors. Just make sure you can tell the distinction between the two colors easily. And then the moving average is at 4. Moving average is at 4, and that's the one that sticks with price, right? So all you're waiting for is the one that's moving a lot to cross to the one that doesn't move. Like, just to break it down in simple, because sometimes people have it at different colors and stuff like that. Because the one that is not moving a lot is the 50 average, which is the exponential moving average, like I said, which is like your baseline, right? So literally any single pair, you can look at it. Last use, you can do this on his trading view, but GoldCup does it for, yeah, exactly. So GoldCup does it for you. I just have it on trading view to track the alerts, so that way I can see what's going on and I can track it, because they go away after like an hour or two, I think, on GoldCup. And guys, if you don't have a GoldCup, spend the $20, get it. You got Gold Rush literally handing out signals, guys. Like, if you guys remember, if you guys are part of this around this time last year, and around January to like March, this guy was like 28-0. Like, he is a expert at what he does. Like, is he going to lose some? Of course. But if you're using proper risk management, it doesn't matter anyway. Like, guys, like, yes, I've flipped certain accounts, certain amounts and stuff like that. And I've risked a little bit more, but it still I knew exactly what I was getting into. A lot of people in the beginning, they don't know exactly how much they're risking. They don't know exactly how many pips, they're risking and stuff like that. They get into a trade, they do really bad, or they blow an account, and they lose more than what they should have done. But somebody else might have won in that trade, because what happened? You weren't paying attention, guys. So take serious on risk management. Follow the compensation plan, because like I said, it's not the compensation. I'm sorry, the compound plan, because that's a massive, massive thing. That I'll just bring it up again. Make sure everybody can see this one. So let me go back and share. Screen one. All right, everybody can see this one. Perfect. And then, so the biggest thing, guys, like, we understand everybody, has their own amount that they can put into. Yeah, exactly. Follow. Chris Taylor created that so to put money in yours. You don't have to risk your own money, guys. So definitely take advantage of that. But what I did is I did $50, and in the beginning I did 5%. Because you never want to risk more than 5%, right? That's just a huge. You don't want to risk more than 5%. But I was trying to catch 10 pips, and what happens is I would twin trade this. I'll give you like as a quick little sauce trick is I would twin trade for 10 pips, because sometimes it's going to go more than 10 pips, right? So I would really catch my 5, and this is a little bit more advanced. If anybody doesn't get this, we can personally talk. The first entry really had a 5 pip TP to risk to 5%. So it was a 0.05, right? And that's 5%. I'm really trying to catch five. My original percentage on that first entry, right? The second one still had this one though. All right, so I had split it up. So it was like a 0.02 and it was like a 0.0 like something. I forgot what it was in the beginning. But what happens is once that first entry closes, I close it out in profits. We're good. And what happens is this one continues to go. And I would always put it at break even. Guys, like break even is the best thing you can do the minute it goes like 10, 15 pips in profit every single time. You can always re-enter into a trade, but you can't go back and get your own money. You can't go back and get lost money, guys. So break even is the most powerful thing you can do, guys. Like I'm telling you, a lot of people are up 10 pips and they're like, oh, I'm good. Depending on the pair, you have to put it at break even, guys. Like it doesn't count as a loss. If it hits your break even or it hits your 2 pip stop profit, it's not a loss. You technically got 2 pips just to cover the spiff or the spread, just to cover the spread, guys. So like that's a huge thing. Follow your plan, follow a trading plan, use the products every single day. People sleep on Go Live, guys. Like Kimberly Torres, Luke Longmire, they are super accurate on their trade setups every night. Like just log in. All you have to do is log in, take notes, guys. Like you're pretty much at, like an all you can eat buffet with the finest meats of all things. And if you're not using the products, it's like going to the finest buffet and literally asking for like, do you guys sell like McDonald's here, or do you guys have like Burger King or something like that? Like what? Like what are you doing? Like you literally have the finest meats there. Go get a plate, go in front of the chef, and okay, hey, what are you cooking? Like what's going on? You have those products and tools, guys. Like I don't know if you guys understood that analogy, but if you didn't, let me know. I'll explain a little bit better. But the biggest thing, guys, is stay to the product, stay plugged into the system. If we do training calls like this on Saturday, make sure you're on them because you'll learn a lot of stuff. And we'll do, I don't know if a Q&A, if anybody has any more questions and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it, guys. If anybody has a question on that, you can hit me up. I'm always open, always trying to teach anybody. I was able to flip some pretty good accounts doing this stuff. So it's definitely working, guys. Use the products, guys. Use the products. Like we can't stress that enough. If you're not using the products, you're really not trying to win at the end of the day. And that's just being real. Like you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, did I do like 100% into this? If you blow an account more than once, like Christopher Derrick, I'll finish off with this. Christopher Derrick, because a mistake made more than twice isn't a mistake anymore. It's a decision. It's a choice. So if you're blowing accounts, you're not doing successful. Everybody else, you've seen all these success stories. Like obviously the products work. It's just now the products work, but are you working? So that's pretty much it, guys. So super thankful for having you guys on me, for having me on this call. So super excited for you guys. We're gonna crush it. I think we're gonna try to do these a little bit more, maybe every Saturday or whatever. We'll see what's going on. So drop some 777s if you guys got some value in here. So super excited, you guys. Ask questions in the Telegram chats. Like I'm always looking at it. I'll always post something in there. So ask questions in Telegram. Closed mouths don't get fed, guys. So you guys got to get on here, and get on this wave. But yeah, man, pass it up to Steve. I don't know if Steve's gonna close it out, maybe do something a little bit different. But definitely, guys, stay tuned in, stay plugged in, use the products, and we're going to the top, guys. So it's just a matter of if you're hopping on for the ride or not. So, all right, Steve, I think I gotta make you host now. So give me a second. Make host. All right, so you should be host right now, Steve. Okay, I think I might be in. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Perfect. I made you host.
All right, now I am. Great. All right, guys, give it up for Mr. Andrew. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Andrew, for jumping on. Now, one of the things that Andrew said, guys, was twin trading. I want you guys to really understand what he's talking about. What he's saying is when he enters a trade, he does 2 trades at half the position that he would typically want. So, for instance, if he wanted to do $1 a pip, $1 a point, right? He would do 2 50-cent positions at the same entry place. So if price is right here, okay?
Yeah. I got you right here, the rules for price trap.
So let's say, guys, he's entering a trade right here. He's going to do half at a time. You want to explain that, Andrew?
Yeah. So the cool part about Price Trap is that Christopher Derrick literally puts the rules there for you every single trade. So when you're twin trading, let's say you have $100. Well, you wouldn't really twin trade $100. So let's say you have $200 in your account, right? And your 3% is your 0.02. You're right here. You're not doing 2.02s. You're doing 1.01. And like right here, he breaks it on $1,000 in account. You split, instead of doing the 0.10, you're doing 1.05 and another 0.05 at the exact same time. 2 entries, splitting your risk, right? And then as soon as you do that, you 10 to 15 pips in profit. You set both of them to 2 pip stop profits. Your first order, guys, is always having your goal in there. So always have your 20 pips. If you're going for 20 pips, if you're going for 30, if you're going for 40, put that in there. Your second order only really needs to have that 2 pip stop profit, and then you choose, how you want to close it out, right? Based on, your analysis, stuff like that. But twin trading is super, super powerful for flipping accounts, and super powerful just doing anything really in trading, because sometimes, like I said, you'll catch that 120 pip move. And the reason Christopher Derrick does this is because instead of looking for a trade every single day, if you're looking on your phone, it's like, oh, I'm still up 80 pips. I'm still up 100 pips. I don't necessarily need to look at another trade, right? So you can go back into the academy. You can go, if you want to start getting into building a team and stuff like that, you have more time to do that. So that's pretty much it right there, man. If anybody pretty much gets that, if you have a question on that, let me know.
So guys, that's the concept. 2 trades, same entry, split your lot size, okay? And then one's going to close out early and one is going to trail, so you can continue to catch the rest of those pips. So twin trading is really cool. Remember, if you're doing 10 cents a pip, you're not going to be able to split that because 10 cents is the bare minimum that you can do. But with a $200 account and above, you can twin trade. So like that, you can close one out and then let the other one ride, guys. So very, very powerful stuff. And guys, one of the big things, the big takeaways to get from this conversation today is to use the products. So remember, if there was a series of events, it would be like this. First, you start in the academy, get to at least a 200 series, and then eventually do the 300 and 400 series. Then go on the Gold Live, start watching some of these live educators, and utilize the scanners and products that we have as step 3. So Academy, Go Live, and products, which is scanners and apps. And when you do all of these things together, okay, and you do them appropriately and you really master a scanner, you don't have to master all of them. If you want to learn what Andrew's doing, you would only need GoldCup, and you would watch Luke Longmire, Losado Torres. You could do Kimberly Torres as well, Christopher Derrick. All of them are built around the GoldCup app, and literally that's all you would need. Master that, master those strategies, and utilizing TradingView for your charts and stuff, you can get in the game, stay in the game, and stay profitable in the game. So find an educator that you enjoy watching, find the style that you like, and then mimic that style until you become successful. So guys, that's our time for today. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday training. I hope it got you value. I hope you see the value of using your products. Andrew's story is one that's very, very powerful. He's had some very successful trading days, very successful trading weeks, and it's because he uses the products, he's coachable, he's trainable, and he's consistent in what he's doing. So guys, thank you so much for being with us. Use the products this week. Use the weekend to prepare for the week. Tomorrow night, the markets open again on Sunday evening. So blessings to all of you guys, and let's hit our goals and dreams together. Guys, there's only about 30 plus days left in 2019, and we're going to start 2020, a brand new decade, guys. How do you want to go into that new decade, and what do you want to accomplish going into that so that you can have an impact on your life, your family, your friends, your community, and you can utilize trading to create an infinite income where you can have infinite potential to impact others. So guys, let's go out there and get